The district attorney in Sacramento, California, announced on Saturday there will be no charges filed against two officers who shot and killed an unarmed black man last year. Clark's mother now says the DA has failed and that she's lost her faith in the justice system.
There were two cases dismissed over the weekend. First of which involved a former Oklahoma officer who shot and killed an unarmed black man in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 2016. Many may remember the video footage showing Terrence Crutcher walking away with his hands up, while officers from above branded him a bad dude from 100 feet in the air. And Officer Betty Shelby shot him, claiming she was acting in self-defense because she thought he was reaching into his car for what might have been a weapon. Of course, video of the episode showed Mr. Crutcher holding his hands above his head when he was shot. But on Friday, the Justice Department said it had found insufficient evidence to prove that her use of force against Mr. Crutcher was objectively unreasonable, under the definition set by the United States Supreme Court. The other case involved the death of Stephon Clark. Saturday, the Sacramento County District Attorney announced that the two Sacramento police officers who shot and killed the unarmed black man in his grandmother's backyard last year will face no criminal prosecution. The officers involved fired their weapons 20 times in Stephon's direction within seconds of turning a blind corner. District Attorney Anne-Marie Schubert went on to defend the decision, stating that both officers believed that Clark was pointing a gun at them. Again, later review showed Mr. Clark was unarmed. His cell phone was found under his body. And as we've discovered in recent years, cell phones have been conveniently used in many ways to justify this kind of extreme use of force from law enforcement. And no, I don't mean just the cell phone as an object, but also the contents it holds. You see, during her presentation, Ms. Schubert, whose office, by the way, has received over $400,000 in donations from law enforcement groups and police unions, figured that's relevant here, noted that Mr. Clark had been accused of domestic violence days before his death.
The DA released personal text messages between Clark and his fiancée. The text implied Clark was involved in a domestic violence incident with her 2 days before the shooting, and he threatened to kill himself.
So with all of that, I ask Ms. Schubert, did the officers who fired 20 shots, of which 6 of the 7 that hit him struck him as he was falling or was already on the ground, know about these issues before they approached Mr. Clark? Did they even know who he was when they pursued him? The answer, the officers, as she noted, did not know any of this when they were searching the neighborhood for vandals. Okay. So all of that doesn't mean yet it's deemed relevant. So is she saying that essentially, if you have personal problems or issues that are weighing on you, that can be used as an excuse to justify police gunning you down with little to no provocation? Well, good thing so few people these days are experiencing emotional struggles, or this might be a real worry. Right? My God.
It was what happened on March 18th when the officers murdered my fiance. Murdered Stephon Clark. That's what this is about. It's not about anything that happened before that. It's about the officers who murdered him.
And this is why we continue to say Black Lives Matter, because in these two cases, and many others, starved of accountability, they don't. Once again, we have a justice system that goes out of its way to smear victims to justify these actions, and using past grievances that have no relation to the cases at hand to justify 20 rounds being fired, or clinging to false claims of reaching for imaginary guns to justify it. And this is why we must continue to be vigilant with these cases, because while they happened years ago, the lack of accountability has long-standing effects on what happens today and into the future. But I really would love to hear your thoughts on this. If you've got any discrepancies with what has been outlined, come over to my Instagram, @FrancisMMaxwell. Love to hear from you there. You can become a member, tyt.com/join. Did you like this video? Then great. Never miss another breakdown video by hitting the subscribe button below and ring the bell to get notified whenever we publish a new video.